Oh,
Now that the most stressful part of your day is done, how are you, Dan?
you know what?
Yeah.
I'm feeling pretty froggy. I'm feeling pretty good.
Okay.
Celebrated Jenny's birthday yesterday.
Right.
Hey.
Happy
Yeah.
birthday.
So we we went. I figured we'd go to an art museum. The first time we'd ever go to an art museum in over a year would be on her birthday. So we make plans to do that. It has a park right next to it. Perfect. Let's
Right.
go get brunch. Let's take it to that park. Let's eat it there, and then we'll go to the art museum.
High class. I like it.
We got the brunch, real good place. Got it to the park, no utensils.
Oh, yikes.
Okay.
Oh,
Did you turn it into a finger food day, I hope?
The good thing was we had toast. So we cut up.
just scoop it with the toast.
Yeah,
Yeah.
All right. I mean,
We got-
I mean,
we got
you made
omelets.
lemonades out of it.
There was arugula there. You use the toast to cut up the omelet and scoop up the arugula. My face was covered in eggs, but it was fine. It was a good time.
This is utilitarian Dan. I like it. He didn't have no forks, no knives, but he had toast, and by God, he made it work.
Yeah,
Can I just real quick, real fast,
sure.
say that Dan, the picture that you have for TBL is just
It's perfect. It's
it's
perfect.
so good.
It's TVL
I appreciate
face.
it. It's TBL face.
Yeah.
I love it.
Taking one of my many moments of suffering and making use out of it. I can appreciate that, Dan. Thank you.
It is memorialized here today.
It never ends. You know what the funniest thing is? That's not the first or second or third TBL face that has been on this channel. Because these scenarios tend to keep happening to me, and just it's my lot in life
Yeah.
to provide entertainment for you all.
I'm currently in
It
talks.
is both.
Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say it's both a blessing and a curse for TBL.
It's my life.
I'm currently in talks with Moon to
Mhm.
get the Dan Finna Mad Face.
Oh,
as
yes.
an emote for the Planet Destiny channel.
I love that
Um,
one so much.
Talks are going well. So
Talks growing well. Negotiations are proceeding well.
Negotiations ongoing. How that's not a universal emote yet, I have no idea. But welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 280 of the Planet Destiny podcast, your one-stop shop for all the silliest stasis news of the week. And man, do we have some stasis news for you today, because this coming week is going to be a rather big week, especially if you're somebody out there who likes to spend a lot of time in the Crucible. We got some nerfs to talk about. But of course, joining us this week is our usual roundtable of hosts, the one, the only Mr. Nim Plays. Good to see you, buddy.
Hey, good to be here again.
It's great to have you here again. I look forward to hearing some of your thoughts on stasis changes a little later
Oh,
on.
I'm sure.
Of course, we've also got Mr. Danfinity.
hello.
How's it going, man?
It's going well. I ate food with a fork today. It was good.
It's
Always a positive.
Listen, reject modernity. Return to toast. And of course, I am the Black Link. And man, we've got quite a show for you guys. And along with this show, we've got quite the special guest host joining us tonight. You know him, you love him. King Allan. It's great to have you here.
So, thanks for having me. It was an unexpected turn of events, and
Those
I
are
don't
the
know,
best
it's-
events, though.
Yeah.
absolutely. If Dan's involved, bro, my answer is always gonna be an S. Like, there's no if and or buts.
Heck yeah.
Right.
I love that.
This is true.
Dan is a madman.
Yeah.
This is very
You sold
true.
some merch this week, by the way, Dan. I saw that. Some
I-
people bought like your shirts and stuff.
Yeah. Somebody got one, and
Good stuff.
it looks like that, but a little less. blurry.
Does it come with the head?
You have that's alternate shipping on that. You
Right.
let me get a hold of me, but yeah, we can. we can work something out.
That's a purchase that you got to make in person.
That's the OnlyFans purchase. Got it.
Out of the
Understand.
trunk of
I
the car.
understand. That's all you had to say. It's the OnlyFans tier. I'm on it. I got you, dog.
Yeah. Always be hustling.
always, always. ABH, bro. ABH. Always be hustling.
But enough about me. Why don't we talk to our esteemed guest here, King Allan, sir?
I'm enjoying this. Please keep going. Please.
This is no. We need to stop because this is the kind of banter that will just continue for the next hour or so. But
I'm
anyway,
here
so
for it.
we're super glad to have you on the show. So again, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Oh, it's my pleasure. I don't know. I love talking in general. I'm a very chatty person. Any chance at talking to somebody, I'm taking it.
Well, you came to the right place. But for those out there who maybe aren't acquainted with you, why don't we start by letting you introduce yourself to the audience, tell everybody who you are and what it is you do.
Um, my name is Allan. Allan. My full name, I have no problems in giving it away. It's Allan Malcolm Moses. And no, it's not my pseudonym that I have to make a tech call to you. It's not it. It's my actual name. Yeah, it's my actual name. I'm from India. I'm a full-time content creator. I'm trying to create a space, you know, for creators from India. So my visions, my dreams are big, and I'm working towards that. Uh, I don't know if now is the time to promo, but
Yeah.
Yes, it is. Please.
Absolutely.
um, you can find me at twitch.tv / xKingAllan because I couldn't get the King Allan. And
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
my Twitter is the same. I don't know. I just like talking to people. Like I like to chill with people, wave with people, talk about role stuff all the time. If you guys are into things like that, then you'll like me.
Right on. And I think that is probably the most amazing way to introduce yourself. Hi, I'm Alan. No, that's not my customer service name.
Hey, hey,
That's
we're getting the
beautiful.
stereotypes out the way, out the gate. Like just
I
no,
like it.
it's
Just
not.
address
That's
it
not
right
what
off
you
the
get
bat.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, my name is Alan. I love it. It's great to have you here, man. And so I guess jumping off from there, of course, this is a Destiny show. One of the things that I always like to ask our guests is how exactly they got acquainted with Destiny as a franchise. It's been going on since its initial release in what, 2014 is when D1
Yeah.
dropped. So
Yeah.
this franchise has been out for a significant amount of time, and everybody has a different story for how they got in. So how did you get started with Destiny?
So I got started with Destiny. I think it was like mid 2014. Um, so whatever happens over there in terms of video games and stuff like that, it comes here as a wave a little later, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I was I was I was walking into this mall, you know. That's the place where you just simply walk about, do nothing, you know, do no shopping at all, but you just, you know, you're
I like
browsing
American
everything and
malls.
stuff. Yeah. It's just fancy stuff. Just whenever you're bored, you just do it. So
Yeah.
I'm walking through this, and there's like a game station place. I don't know what they're called. Like it's an entire like an arcade, but you know, there's
Right.
very little games, and then there was like I don't know 5 or 6 TVs there. A PlayStation was attached, and there's different games being showcased there, right? I saw this one game. It was in the character selection screen. It was like futuristic for that time. You know, it was like over the
Yeah.
top. It was oh my god, so good. And I just picked up the controller. I started like making like some stuff. You know, just started creating stuff, and I fell in love with it. And it was Destiny. I never put it down ever since. So when Destiny is just a feeling, you know. It's not a
Yeah.
video game anymore. It's just a
Yeah.
feeling. It's just an emotion.
Yeah.
It's
And anybody who's been there since like 2014, or if you started a little bit later, like knows exactly what you mean. Like that's
Yeah.
yeah.
it's gone beyond a video game at this point.
Yeah, it's an emotion. Like it's you may have played games. I know all of us consume a lot of games, right? Like
Yeah.
Nem
Yeah.
talks about a lot of
Absolutely.
games he plays it. Dan talks about a lot of games he plays it. I'm sure you as well, brother. I'm not very fluent with your work, so I apologize. Um, you know, I
Need to
we all talk.
apologize.
No, maybe it's my fault for not putting in a lot of effort to get to know more people. You know, more
This is
about
basically
more
it.
people.
Just sitting here and making fun of things.
Yeah.
That's about the breadth of my work.
We're slaying it, and and you know, certain games just like touch you in a way that you don't expect it to touch you. This was one of those games. you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it comes with a lot, bro.
Mm-hmm.
It's like that single mom with so much baggage that you never expected to change your life.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Valid.
It's crazy. I love it. I love everything that it comes with.
Yeah.
Before we get into like because what Alan was saying there just kind of like brought a question up in my head, and just for all of you guys, what is, and we'll start with Alan because guest, what is like one thing that you would have never expected to happen to you because of Destiny the game?
Never expected to happen.
Yeah.
There's so many.
Yeah. There's a lot of things that have happened.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
What about you, Dan? You got one? Meanwhile, Alan comes up with his.
Any of this, just any of this. I never.
I feel like that's a cop out answer,
Well,
Dan.
I mean, previously
It is a cop-out answer. It is a cop-out
it totally
answer. He never
is.
put any effort.
It totally is. But at the same time, when I started all this, I was in bands. I wasn't playing games with
Yeah.
many people online. I didn't expect to have, like, the community that I was used to was you go out and you see a show with some buds and you see like 15 people that you know, or you go
Yeah,
out
right.
and like you go out on the road and somebody comes and talks to you after the show. I never expected to have an online community or be a part of an online community with so many people that I actually got to know pretty well. And this, like, so all of this is a first. So I'm sticking by my answer.
For a cop out answer, that was pretty
Okay.
damn good, Dan.
Yeah.
Yeah, he kind of. I think he kind of incepted an idea into my head, and I can't let go of that. No,
Go for it.
And there's a lot of things that happened to me because of Destiny that I didn't expect. But I didn't expect the reassurance from playing a video game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'll explain. Like, it's usually it's easier to affect people's lives when they're next to you. You know, when they're in your
Right.
close vicinity. Imagine playing a game. Imagine meeting people online, right? Imagine they get acquainted with you in such a way that they message you the minute you're not online one day. And
Yeah.
imagine
Yeah.
somebody telling you, you know, when did you stream today? I was looking forward to it. My day was bad and I was looking forward to this. Why didn't you do it?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now imagine all of this to be true. Now that is the experience that I didn't expect from playing a video game. And
Yeah.
Destiny gave that to me. It's
That's-
amazing.
That's good. I like that.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think that's a fantastic answer to that because it's not exactly something you think about necessarily
Yeah.
as a streamer. You think of it as just, kind of cathartic for you to go on and live stream and play a game and maybe talk to a few people. And then when you don't, it really hits home when some of those people are like, "Hey, you didn't stream today." Okay? It's like, "But you care?
They slide up in your DMs like, "Yo, dog, what the
Bro,
fuck?
yo,
Where are you?"
Going on?
Yeah,
Where
bro.
were you?" Yeah. So I think that absolutely works for this sort of question. It's kind of a wild experience to receive all of that, even in kind of relation to a game like Destiny. It's crazy. And I think I'd answer somewhere somewhere in between, what Alan and what Dan said. I'm sitting on a podcast right now talking about a specific video game. That's not something I would have been doing 6 or 7 years ago when Destiny first came out. It's not something back in 2014 when the game launched. It was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun covering it, a lot of fun playing it. There is no way I would have thought 7 years from now I'll still be hosting some sort of content for this game in any way, shape, or form. And so I'd say that's kind of blown my mind a little bit when it comes to just a franchise like this. And if you want it one step further, because that's not good enough for you, I had one of the weirdest experiences of my life thanks to Destiny. And that was going to Guardian Con and sitting on the other side of a panel and having people walk up to me and ask me to sign things.
Oh yeah,
That's a good one. I like that. Yeah.
remember
That
that.
was one of the oddest experiences of my life. I was like, why do you want me to sign your shirt? Why?
Because you're
Yeah.
sitting behind a table, TBL. Sometimes
that
that's
was
it.
it. That's what I had to tell myself. It's just because I'm sitting on the other end of this convention table.
I ruined a kid's scuff controller with my my
but-
signature right next
That
to
would be
you.
so weird.
Ruined
That
it,
would be
this
so
guy.
weird.
It was.
Yeah.
Oh, bruh. Oh, wow. I'm just imagining it, right? I'm just imagining it like, how would it be? That's
Yeah.
somebody that we engage with it on a regular basis. I'm sitting there and they come and ask me for what? You're gonna
what?
come
Yeah.
and talk in a couple of days once I get back home. I don't want to give you my signature. We can hug it out. We can fight. Like, what? No,
Yeah.
that would be
was-
so weird, bro.
I'll just start
It was a
giving out.
very odd experience. It was one of the weirdest things I think I've ever dealt with. I mean, it was great to see a lot of the people, a lot of the friends that I had made over the course of the internet. You know, a lot of the other old PD crew. I got to meet Tefty for the first time, Holtzman in person for the first time when we had been working together on projects for a couple years at that point. So that was all really neat, but it was just the weirdest experience to sit down and like have somebody come like, hey, here's my baby, sign their forehead.
Here's here's how you get past that, TBL. You stop writing your name. You start putting your social security number on everything. There's no way
Yes.
they think that it's real. There you
If
go.
they do, then everyone can be the Black Link. I don't have to worry anymore. But yeah, that's my answer.
I like it.
That look-y be mad funny, yo.
Just all right. Put down a couple digits. There you go.
Yep.
Have fun with that, IRS.
66666. I see where this is going.
Edge.
I mean, you probably give away a NEM'S social security number there, bro. I'm
See,
pretty
that's
sure
why I didn't
that's
say
it.
the last four.
That's why he was sweating. You saw he had to go and grab the water. He's trying to look casual. You just accurately guessed half of Nim's social security number. But
This
so,
fucking
anyways,
guy.
just to get back to what we were talking about before, I think that story of how you got into Destiny, Allan, is fantastic. So you're going through a mall, you find an arcade, and like in there is just the character select screen from Destiny.
Yeah,
That is
it literally is.
amazing.
It was so nice for that time, bro. Like
Yeah,
it felt out of this world, you know. Now after like 8-9 years, right? Like
right.
8-9
Yeah,
years, 6-7 years. Like we've seen so much. You know, obviously we saw Uncharted and all that. You know, the
Yes.
quality and the way things feel and all that. Like it's changed like by a mile. But at that time, Destiny was it. You know,
right.
God, there's no better looking game than this. That feeling was. I was just so caught up in it, and I had to get it. I had to get it, and I never put it down after that.
Yeah. And so I guess we flash forward all of these years. We're still playing Destiny. We've got Destiny 2 now. We've started off a whole new season of content that, of course, has a lot of nostalgia in it because it brings back the premier raid from Destiny 1 in Vault of Glass. So I'd have to ask, how was your experience with that been? Have you run VOG?
Mine?
Yeah.
What? So usually I compete for the world's first race.
Right.
You know, this time I didn't want to compete, or not because I don't think it's not that. I wanted to take time to enjoy everything. I didn't want to rush it. I knew it was gonna be gorgeous. I knew the sounds. You know, they would have reworked all the sounds. I knew everything was gonna look beautiful because the FOV just took a, like a
Yeah.
50+ bump, bro.
Oh yeah.
And it's like
It's
unlimited
crazy.
frames, and my mind
Mhm.
is like, oh, I gotta take it slow or whatever. Also another reason is like I can't compete with that being this way, so that also played a small part. but the raid was amazing. It was
Yeah.
amazing. It was like above and beyond. I went, when we got to Atheon before the doors open. Oh,
So
You know,
I
there's a
cannot
lot of
tell
things.
you. I cannot tell you
Yeah.
the feeling, the fear, the amplified fear because of the FOV being bigger now, and you can
Mhm.
Right?
see 3 Gorgons in one go.
Yeah.
And like,
Yeah.
bruh,
just the
it
size
was
of that
something else.
space too.
I know.
Like it's immense.
I love it. I love it. Hey, by the
That's
way, for those who don't know, they ported they ported the entire planet, and they blocked everything off.
I'm mad about that. Let me go
Yeah,
explore Venus. I want to see the rest of the Ishtar sink.
yeah, bro.
But
Somebody's gonna find an oops to it. You watch. Somebody's gonna find an oops to it, and they're gonna go and they're gonna break something. They're gonna disable log. I promise you.
they always do. But to build up on what you were saying there, one of the things I found most striking about this resurgence of Vault of Glass in D2 is just how good it looks. It looks
Yeah.
the lighting in there is different. The shading in there is different. It's the same structural format that we had back in D1, but it looks completely revitalized in the D2 engine. Like Alan said, with the higher FOV, with the better frame rate, it looks amazing. The lighting in there is just unreal. It's incredible how good VOG looks.
So clean.
Yeah, that's all you lean over, Nim. It's about as clean as can be.
Yeah.
Nim's taken a bunch of 4K photos. I like to think exclusively for me to use, but it's gorgeous
No,
in
but
there.
Got you.
he kills me, bro. So,
Yeah,
every time he posts these pictures, like he started this whole. I mean, obviously, he posted the I've never been afraid of acolytes any more than it's just the random things that he posts just kills me. Like I don't know. I'm waiting to see what he posts in a week about VOG
Well,
and pictures about VOG. Like
he posted Atheon spawning in without, I think, without any HUD on, right?
yeah,
Mhm.
That
yeah.
was the most terrifying thing from that angle.
Scary.
oh
That was nuts, and like that's part of it, right? Like it's this
yeah.
huge,
Right.
beautiful space. Like he's this huge, beautiful monster.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
have one question though, Alan,
Mm-hmm.
and this is really important. I think this is going
Yeah.
to be an ongoing question for every guest from henceforth from me. Your Oracle callouts.
Oh no.
Oh,
Are you a
I
1
mean,
to 6
Oracle.
guy?
I don't know. Oracle colors for me, and I've done it in every way.
Yeah.
But for me, the best callouts for me it goes by how quickly is somebody able to grasp it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
Mhm.
You can give me people who prefer numbers who've never done the raid. You can give me people who've never done the raid and they prefer left, mid, right, whatever, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah.
And I will give them positional colors, and I can guarantee you they'll understand it way quicker than everything else. Like it's just a
Yeah.
given because
Right.
it's like this. No, like you tell them, oh, so this one's one. The one on the left is one. The one on the right is two. Or, the one in the middle is three or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm just taking that off. It's like that's left, middle, right.
Yeah.
The one on the left is gonna spawn left. The one in the middle is gonna spawn in the middle. The one on the right is gonna spawn right. And then
Yeah.
there's gonna be those far ones, which is far left,
Yeah.
far right,
yeah.
and far middle. How is that not simpler? I'm sorry,
Hey man.
Yeah, you know,
but keep going.
The strategy that is superior is the strategy that helps you win. So
Yes.
that is
like if you want to know if your call out system is working, did you kill Atheon and get to the clear screen? Then yeah, there you go. That's the strategy that worked for you.
Yep.
But
Mhm.
I will say it's been really interesting watching some of those strategies evolve now that we're a week or so into the release of Vault of Glass. Templar just gets bullied
Oh my god.
All day, every day.
all day. The dude just has his lunch money taken every single day. I was
Every
watching
day, bro.
our a buddy of the show, Jarv. He
Mhm.
was streaming earlier today and doing some raid helps with people on Xbox. and he got to the Templar fight, and I legit turned around to go get a bottle of water. It couldn't have taken me more than 40 seconds to leave the room and get a bottle of water and come back in here. It was dead by the time I got back in here. It's blown my mind how much that fight has been turned around.
It's been soloed already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was
It's
watching
crazy.
that.
It was crazy. That man, oh my god.
Yeah.
He thought of the timer because you can't break out anymore. No. He
Mm.
thought of he thought of the timer and pre-timed everything. Like how who
Crazy.
hurt you?
Templar did. The Templar hurt him. That
Yeah.
world first race.
Contest mode hurt him.
Yeah, it's time for revenge. So it's been really interesting seeing some of those strategies change, and I will say for the final fight, I was watching Fallout earlier this week, run the raid, and he got to learn something at the same time as me because the group he was with was like, yeah, we don't do into the middle when you get teleported thing to pop oracles. Just head to the back of the battlefield by the door where you spawn in, and then it doesn't matter what you call out. Things are going to be, because you're going to have the same view as the people who don't get teleported. Like Allan said, it's just, here's your close right, your far right, your close mid, your far mid. Now, it blew my mind because I hadn't once considered doing that. And it makes it so much easier.
Yeah.
And at that point, like, you can just call out 2 oracles.
Yep.
Yeah.
And just don't call out the third one because you have the order.
It's
It's gonna be in order.
Yeah.
Process of elimination.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to bring up that it's been really interesting watching those strategies kind of pop up and evolve. Now that the stress, the pressure of the day one race and contest mode is no longer. Look forward to seeing how that's going to evolve in the future as well. We've got the hard mode and the challenge mode coming back within another month or so. I think.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it can't come here soon enough, bro. Because people are gonna get, it's gonna hit them fast. Because VoG is an old raid.
Oh,
It
yeah.
doesn't have the resilience of new raids.
Mhm.
You know, people are gonna be nostalgic for a while. They're gonna love it. You know, if new things needs to start coming in,
Right.
Because in a month it's gonna run its course. Like it's absolutely going to. Everybody's caught up right now because they want the emblem. They're looking for Sherpas, and they're like burning through all of it. Some are doing it flag, some are doing it to help. But it's gonna it's gonna run its course soon, and I'm waiting for hard mode. And I want Bungie to bring back like contest mode across all raids to be available as a constant with
Mhm.
better loot
Yeah.
attached to it. They need to do it. I don't know. Like I don't think it's difficult, right? Because if they already have a system in place to have contest mode active when we're higher late levels, because we were 15 late level something higher when we went into the raid VOG, right? But it was still in contest mode, so the option is already there, and I'm sure they can add it to all the other raids. Listen to me, I'm a developer because I know what I'm talking about.
Mhm.
I don't. I'm just like suggesting. I have nothing.
No, but you're
I don't know
not.
anything about all of that. I'm just
That's the thing.
giving a
You're not wrong.
music.
Like, because
Yeah.
that's a tried and true system that we had in Destiny 1 with both
Yeah.
normal and hard mode of having individual both armor pieces and weapons as well. There was a certain set of weapons that only dropped in normal. There was only a set
Yeah.
of weapons that dropped in hard mode, which might be what we're getting with Vault of Glass. Because there
Hopefully.
are a set of weapons that are called the time lost versions of the vault that are yet to be seen. So we'll have to wait and see if Master is what brings that along.
Right. But
Yeah, the needed chuggle. Yeah.
this also kind of goes along with some of our conversation that we had last week when we were asked by someone in chat at the end of the stream, like what we preferred, new material or old material. And I think the point that you bring up, Allan, when you say like nostalgia has a timer on it.
Yeah, it does.
It
does.
Because anything new, you have people like trying to discover what's new about it for ages and ages and ages. And this kind of like mid-year nostalgia drop it's a good trick, but it's a magic trick we've seen before, and one that we can easily best with our knowledge from previous years.
It
Yeah.
only lasts so long.
To add to what Dan said, the seventh chest from Vog has not been found yet, and people were chasing it till the end. You know,
Mm-hmm.
the
Right.
13th wish. People still talk about it.
Still
These
chasing
are
it.
these are things that it grew from. What is it called? Curiosity of what it does because it was something new, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Nobody's gonna dig into old raids that deep, you know,
Right.
to get to get reinvested in it. Because if you were invested in Destiny like that, bro, I I I already know you pay attention to the story. I already know you pay attention to the lore, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like
Absolutely.
so I don't know, new content for me. I'm sorry, Bungie, I love you, but new content for me is just new. Like
Mm-hmm.
none of the mechanics taken from a different activity put in, none of the old things coming back. You know, I will enjoy all of it when you give it to me.
Right.
I love it. I'll enjoy all of it. But that to me is not new content. It's when you add something that I've never done before, ever. Not
So
the
like
same
for
thing in a different setting.
right, so for example, the season of arrivals public event is
Yeah,
Gambit, and then you take
Yeah.
that same mechanic and
same
you have it
mechanic and
now
put
in
yeah,
right, yeah.
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 No, that's
Yeah,
understandable. And
and these two activities that we had, no last seasonal activity and this seasonal activity. It's basically the public event. Sorry, the public community events that Chevy did. Remember?
Yep.
yes,
They were. It's basically that, but there's
yeah,
one additional thing that they're doing, which is
Yeah.
banking
yeah.
modes.
It's meatloaf.
Yeah, it's and that's not how
Meatloaf.
it should be. No, I get it, bro. I'm not without compassion. I understand. Like they don't have the
The resources.
the resources. The higher ups are probably nudging them along like to sell this or whatever. I get all of that. But I also know they love this game as much as we do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
The people who actually work on this game, I know that they love this game as much as we do, right? When
yeah,
Yeah.
as consumers, when we're saying, ah, this is terrible, I don't know if it hurts you to say that, but it hurts them to hear it. Like, because this is
Right.
their baby. They put a
Mm-hmm.
lot of work into this and they were so proud of this game. They believed in this game so much that they turned down big deals for it, bro.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
if it's something that I would request people not to do is not to question their integrity towards the game that they created.
Mm-hmm.
That's all. They love this game as much as we do, so we can request them. Critically, we can request them in a critical manner,
yeah.
but don't be an
Don't be an
asshole about
asshole.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't be an asshole about it.
Use your I feels, not the it's easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Good rules for life there. Don't be an asshole.
Yeah.
Generally tends to work there. So I mean, yeah, and I would agree. I like I'll certainly play Vault of Glass. I'll be playing it for the foreseeable future. I love the raid. I love that they brought that back. But I think new stuff is always what you're looking forward to. And hopefully new stuff is what's going to be on the horizon. Now that we've got, Witch Queen coming within the next year or so. Plus whatever is going to be dropping after that. I think there's plenty to look forward to. Bungie's proven that they can pump out some pretty good content when they need to. And I'm looking forward to that down the line.
They're gonna knock it at the park, bro. I can
Oh,
already
yeah.
feel it, bro. I can feel it. They're just like they're such teasers too. They're so annoying with it.
That's valid. Yeah.
Yeah,
They
can't wait
just
for it.
is this enough? No, it's not enough. No, and I just slap you in your face. Okay, here is everything.
So here's
Is-
Good.
that they talked about something this week that
How's-
some people are going to be looking forward to.
I was
Oh,
saying,
that's
speaking of a slap in the face.
Yeah.
Sorry, Nem.
Here lies he formerly known as the Winter Wraith.
Yeah.
We've got
Bro.
some stasis changes coming. Major stasis changes coming. I think there was a big section about this in the TWAB this week. It was really interesting because we get to hear from Kevin Yanez.
Yes.
Him was.
Been a while.
It's been a little while. They mentioned that these changes were something Bungie had been working on, and they were originally scheduled to drop next season, season 15. But they decided they were far enough along that they could go ahead and push these live early, which I think goes to show for a lot of people out there who've been rather vocal, I think is the fair way to say it the last weeks. Yeah, Bungie hears you when it comes to Stasis and Crucible. They were doing something about it. They were trying to figure it out. And we'll be seeing a lot of those changes. I think they're the updates dropping next Thursday?
Thursday.
Heck yeah.
See, they understand the noise that was created online
Yeah.
matched the numbers.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh yeah.
it matched the numbers of their data, and that caused the shift in paradigm within the team that that pushed them to like go after it immediately, because it was taking a big hit, because the numbers have never been that low in trials ever, even when we had this Dutch Rock Blues meta, remember? Even
Yeah.
back then it wasn't this bad, but now it's like full on tanking. And the cheaters are so noticeable because nobody wants to play now. Like, nobody wants to play. So you're going to
Right.
play the same scenes over and over again. And very few players would willingly put themselves through, that kind of cruelty. And I'm not one of them. I'll
Yeah.
play a few cards. I'll have fun. And
It's
not
definitely
for
had an
me.
effect on the Crucible. I mean, you could see
Yeah.
that pretty much everywhere. There wasn't a and I'm social media. Of course, you can see it if you go anywhere. Talking about how Stasis has affected their desire to play Crucible and all. But you can just go play
Yeah.
any sort of PvP match right now, and it's pretty blatantly obvious the kind of environment we're dealing with. So I, for one, am really glad that Bungie. I guess we can't say they're taking a proactive step here, but they are taking an affirmative step.
Yeah.
In the right direction when it comes to addressing Stasis as it is in Crucible. We should probably get through some of the big changes that they're going to be making here, because most of them I agree with. There's a few that I don't. Not too happy about one or two of the big changes.
What are those?
But I mostly Whisper of Hedrons. I'm not
Okay.
happy that that's getting a damage nerf in PvE alongside PvP. I think that's silly. It needs one in PvP. Doesn't need one in PvE.
I agree, but I don't know. I thought they separated. The sandbox has been separated since Forsaken. I don't know why they even touched PvE.
Well, so I think it's different for abilities that are tied to your character versus because it seems like the fragments are basically a mod to your ability that
Oh, I get it.
without using like a mod slot or something.
Yeah,
If
I get it. Yeah,
if I'm thinking about it correctly, from
it's like an extension.
yeah, it's adding a mod to your super.
Yeah,
And so with that, I mean, some of those are really strong. That's an understatement. Some of
really strong.
A little bit.
And we were talking about this a little bit in my Discord community, where like I can see why people are upset about this.
Who's upset about it?
Well, primarily
Just me.
solo players.
Oh yeah.
Because of the weapon damage fall off. That affects people who sometimes play by themselves. But I can see how overall, like weapon stability, there's so many buffs in this game that when you play with other players, you like that.
It's easily something that you can mitigate.
Yeah, easily.
If you were crutching on the bonus damage from Whisper of Hedrons in PvP, you're gonna have to just learn to go without, because it was egregious. It was like
I think it was 25%.
25% damage bonus just for shooting a frozen target. That was ridiculous. That was always ridiculous in the Crucible, and I'm glad it's gone from PvP. So gonna have to crutch on something else.
Being frozen itself in Crucible is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like,
What?
nah.
why don't we go through? I'll start reading through some of the general fixes. We talk about them as we go along. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sick. All right. So Stasis Freeze. Reduce the duration of all non-super freezes versus players to 1.35 seconds. The freeze is too short to break out of, so breaking out is now only possible when frozen by a super. Reduced special weapon, heavy weapon, and light ability bonus damage versus frozen players from 50% to 5%.
Woo.
So
That's
welcome
big
to
nerf.
welcome to Warlock Freeze. Since
Yeah,
the
everybody
second week
else.
of since the second week of Beyond Light came out.
Yeah, now everybody else is gonna get to experience that.
Yeah.
This is probably one of the biggest changes, making it so that you can only be frozen for a minute, less than a minute and or not a minute, a second and a
Minute.
half.
Whoa.
Is yeah, that was that was
minute.
first
Time,
week of
TBL.
Beyond Light. That was week 1 Beyond Light. But making it so that you're only frozen for 1.35 seconds is going to be a huge change in and of itself, because like they said, that's not even long enough for you to break out. If you've ever been frozen by a basic shade binder attack, you see how quickly you break out of those. I still don't like the concept of being frozen in PvP. I do like that it's now super easy to get out of it, and that the only longer freeze you have to deal with comes from supers.
From supers. Now the thing with that particular while it's good, right?
Mhm.
Behemoth and Revenant would have to use a lot of their kit to
Yeah.
try and get that freeze, because they don't freeze. Hunter slow, Behemoth shatter. Really, the only time that you would be freezing someone as a Behemoth is either using your super,
Mm-hmm.
Diamond Lance now, which has
Yes.
only been out a couple of weeks,
Which is so good. by the way.
and the grenade, the cold snap grenade. And that aspect that sends out the wave.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And with hunters, I think it was just you have to hit someone twice with a shuriken
Correct.
and then a nade, right, to fully freeze someone.
No, cold snap is enough.
No, but I'm outside of their ability, outside of a grenade, with if they hit someone with a shuriken twice, would that freeze someone or just slow?
No, you have to shade step next to them and 2 shurikens that'll freeze them.
Okay, so it's a lot. So it's still something that you have to hit both shurikens and then be close enough to hit them with the dodge to hit them with the slow and then freeze them. So it's I know that sounds like a big change, but it might not be felt across too much, because really the only class that could willy-nilly freeze someone is Warlocks whenever they want. It's you can have 2 freeze melees with a Warlock and a freeze rift.
I watched
little
somebody do some dirty things with it on my team. I played with somebody this weekend. This dude, bruh. He made me feel like I had to alter for my game while I was playing on his team. Bruh. He literally did not. He called it play by play. He called it. It's I'm not gonna do nothing. I'm gonna stand right here, and they're all gonna rush me thinking it's gonna work. I'm gonna pop a whiff, and I'm gonna
freeze
kill all of them. That's exactly what happened.
So he's Michael Jordan in that McDonald's ad?
Yo, yes, bro.
Off the backboard.
I got so disgusted with him, and I thought I don't want to ever play with you. And he was like, "Bruh, I've been frozen so many times. I'm adapting. What am I gonna say to that?"
Gotta dish it back.
Yeah, now we owe Nathan
do what
Sane
you gotta
5
do.
cents.
Right.
Next on the agenda was Stasis Slow. It no longer reduces weapon accuracy, now increases weapon flinch when under fire. It no longer suppresses class ability and air moves.
Thank
Example,
you.
Icarus Dash. Known issue. The Stormcaller's Ion Blink is still suppressed when slowed. We plan to address this in a future release. And they reduced movement speed penalty while slowed by 20%.
That's pretty substantial.
That's pretty big. That means you might be able to escape a lot of the slowing before you get
You can
fully
fight
engaged.
back.
Yeah.
You can fight back now, rather than just standing in the middle of the dust field and being like, "All right, well,
Well,
GG, that's my
bunny
life."
hop, bunny hop, bunny hop, bunny hop.
Yeah. Big changes there. Happy to hear about that, because having such an elongated slow that you could just pop on people as quickly as you could with some of the abilities we had, super annoying.
I'm gonna be
Anything
real with
that
you.
impedes movement is super annoying.
I'm gonna be real with you. I spend a lot of time in PvP. I get more annoyed getting slowed than I do getting frozen.
100% agree.
Because like if I get frozen, I just treat that as a death. It's like death is imminent.
All right.
But it's like getting frozen. It's like, all right, let's fucking end it. Fucking end it. End it.
Yeah.
Just trying to like hippity hop away or trying to get to kill. Like it's annoying.
I mean, this is such a movement-focused game. When you introduce something that specifically impedes player movement, it doesn't feel
Oh
good.
my god, yeah. See, you don't acknowledge it until you're slowed.
Yep.
How fast this game is.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You get hit, and it's like, oh my god, get these turns off of me.
Just want it to end. Yeah, it's
just-
awful.
it's I don't know, bro. I love this game. We've we've come across so many metas, bro.
Mhm.
So many, and I'm telling you, so many. And then this is the only meta which kind of has like the majority of the audience like in sync shouting, we want change. We want
Oh man.
oh my god.
Thankfully, that change is on the way, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This week.
Moving on to the fragments, Whisper of Hedrons no longer increases weapon damage after freezing. Now increases weapon stability, weapon aim assist, mobility, resilience, and recovery after freezing. That's quite a bit for
That's
that.
killing wind.
Mhm.
That's what I was gonna say. It's basically getting Killing Wind as a secondary. Which
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
killing wind.
Whisper of Rhyme fragment no longer provides overshield while in super.
That's fair.
that's
Under-
that's probably okay. Why do you
For
need
the
an
best.
additional overshield when you're in
Bruh.
super?
You know,
Yeah.
for being overpowered and stuff. For
Right,
wanting
why not?
to roll up on somebody and turn them into a block of ice. You know,
Mhm.
just simple stuff like that.
Behemoth all over everybody.
Yeah.
Because you weren't unkillable enough.
Bruh. It has so many. The Behemoth Titan has so. I'm a Titan man. The Behemoth Super has so many immunity frames to it,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and it's super, and it's Slade, and it's what is it called? You can shoulder peek with a Behemoth too, like so quickly. That has a they can hit you, but you can't hit them. It has so
Yeah.
many immunity frames to it, and it's frustrating. It's frustrating because you know you're hitting. You can
Yep.
hear the bullet hitting. You can hear all of it. You can feel it because you know when you hit a shot with a gun and when it lands, you can feel it in the game, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
But then the thing be like, nah, you. And
Nah,
the
bro.
other-
Didn't count, bro.
Nah, no. Okay, buddy. Okay,
That
Alright,
was
whatever.
cute.
that
Let
was
me
cute.
try.
Get off of me.
Guess I'll just take that L.
LLL, you thought.
It's so annoying.
Cold snap grenades. Seeker no longer tracks targets after its initial target acquisition. It increased arming duration before Seeker spawns from 0.3 seconds to 0.8. Reduced detonation radius versus players from 3 meters to 1.5. Now bounces off
That's
walls and
substantial.
detonates on the ground.
Yeah, that reduced detonation, that's going to be pretty noticeable for sure. So is the arming. The arming of that grenade,
Mhm.
like you're going to have to lead your target. If
Yeah.
like somebody's rushing you, you're going to have to like chuck that at your feet basically.
Mm-hmm.
No more just
order to
tossing
really-
it at a corner and watching it go around
Right.
behind people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Some of those changes just kind of like bring back like PTSD flashbacks of handheld Supernova being just
Oh.
absolutely demolished.
I was gonna say, man.
I was
it
happy
reminds me-
about it too. That was another meta that I hated.
Here's the thing. Look at. I was in Nova Warp main, right? For like
Yeah,
We were.
while.
Yeah. You're a different breed, bruh.
The biggest issues, yes, the biggest issues that like Nova Warp had back in the day was the range was dumb. I will 100% admit that was like almost like fusion rifle range that those things had. But the main issue with that was controverse holds, because that is what allowed people to really get those nasty, like just grenade after grenade after grenade, when the grenade has so much reach and you can potentially have it, consistently. But
You were
Bungie
unkillable.
Bungie always does the one too many changes when it comes to stuff like that, and it's just like
Yeah.
It's still a
Nova
little
Warp is painful to play as now. It makes me sad.
Nova Warp is fine. It was just the grenade that like. It's
So,
like, all right,
so,
you
so
minimize
it's
the
in a great
range.
place. Yes.
You minimize the range of the grenade. You slowed down the animation of casting the grenade. You brought down the grenade hold for 1 second. You tightened the spread of the grenade, and you can damage yourself with the grenade. It's like, whoa, easy. Holy shit. I was not expecting this pounding. Just take me to dinner first. God, So it's one after the another. Anyways,
No,
resume.
I think now looking at it, right after Stasis like is running rampant, it makes you think that, oh god, I wish I had that to counter this,
Yeah.
and but you can't, because it was very bad when the grenade was terrible
It
at
was
that
rough.
time, because it was wild. And now I know, like, Bungie was like, you thought that was wild?
I got you. I got you.
Let me give you a nade that you can throw in any vicinity and capture the entire team. You can walk up to them and slap them and get all 5 kills. If you're lucky, you can also get the 6th. Like, oh.
But
Bruh,
only
wait.
if you're lucky.
Only if you're lucky.
Introduce a
like
grenade
90
that does the work for you.
I'm like 90% sure that I have a clip like that where I
Yeah?
immediately
Oh,
rushed. I immediately rushed Zone C and hit them with the melee. I'll have to look it up, and I got all of them off of spawn.
God.
That's
Yeah,
so
it's
dirty.
disgusting. It's gross. Yeah.
Fair and balanced. Just adapt, bro.
Yeah, bro.
There's another 5
Just
cents
don't
for
die.
Mr. Nathan Sane. It's 10
Making him
cents
good
so
money.
far. Yep. Let's see here. Titan Behemoth.
Ooh.
Moving into the classes now. Looking at recent gameplay data, the Behemoth generally has the highest win rate of any subclass in most 6v6 game modes, and is also among the strongest in 3v3 game modes. In Trials of Osiris matches, for example, only Top Tree Dawn has a higher win rate. We've taken these strengths into account when balancing the Behemoth's abilities. Between Shiver Strike and Cryoclasm, the Behemoth has incredibly high mobility, making targeting the Behemoth frustrating for controller users in particular. We've taken steps to make the Behemoth more targetable while moving, which should hopefully alleviate some of the frustration. Shiver Strike, reduce flight speed and distance, reduce knockback versus players, and remove slow duration on player impact. Cryoclasm now requires the Titan to sprint for 1.25 seconds before activation when not in super. They remove the cooldown. The Howl of the Storm.
Trade-off there.
Say what? Go ahead.
I was just saying that's an interesting trade-off. I saw a lot of people complaining about the fact that it's treated like you can't just have that instant movement option that doesn't require sprinting. Now you're gonna have to run for it, but they've removed the cooldown, so you can just do it back to back. Because I guess the sprinting is the cooldown.
That's kind of balanced across all the classes, though, right? Like, if I'm across all the subclasses of Titan.
Correct.
Yeah.
Howl of the Storm, reduced angle of initial freezing damage cone. They reduced crystal creation freezing radius, slowed down sequence of crystal formation to allow victims more opportunity to escape, and now spawns a small crystal on walls if performed into walls.
I hadn't paid attention to that one.
Glacial Quake they reduce the heavy slam vertical freeze range versus players, and they reduce damage resistance from 50 to 47%.
That is
You're not 3 points off of it.
that's
Just the top.
this is just this little shave off the top there for the damage resistance.
You know what that reminds me of? Remember when they buffed auto rifles by like 0.01%?
Oh,
Yeah.
bro, that was, oh my god.
Yeah, but we
Don't
got
worry,
Chroma
guys.
Rush out of that, so we're fine.
Oh.
Oh,
I will say I'm really happy to hear about the vertical freeze range being knocked down on. There's few were the times where you could actually escape a behemoth's wrath, and it felt worse when you jump over them. You're like, yeah, I got away. They slam and hit a wall, and you get frozen
Yeah.
because busted hitboxes. So I'm glad that's getting knocked down a peg.
See, anything surrounding Behemoth, I reserve my judgments because I wanna play it.
Yeah.
I wanna play it. I wanna get beat down before I can make my opinions about, because I don't know.
Yeah, that's
there's something.
fair.
Yeah, there's something about the Stasis Behemoth class. It's just not nice. Like I don't want to be playing as. I don't want to be playing against.
Yep.
It's just weird all over the place. Because if a
Agreed.
Warlock pops like a Stasis Super or whatever, right? You can run. You know,
Yep.
you can get away.
Yeah.
If a hunter pops it, they just look dumb. You can just make a circle and you're fine, right?
Lightly walk away.
Freaking Titan pops it, bro. He just runs around for 20 seconds, just like, stop. Stop.
You
I'm
hear
too
that
old.
super. You hear that
Yeah.
super pop, and it's time to clench those cheeks.
Yeah, bro. What?
Oh my god.
I've never reverse held the W key so much in my life, bro. Like, what the
You're
hell?
sitting there pulling it out of the keyboard.
Crazy.
All right. Moving on to the Hunter Revenant. The Revenant's Crucible win rate, kills per minute, and average efficiency is generally within the top 6 of all subclass trees, but its usage rate is incredibly high because there's a lot of hunters. In Trials
There
of
are a lot of hunters.
Osiris matches, it has the 5th highest win rate of any subclass tree, but is used by a whopping 36% of Trials players. This high usage means players fall victim to its abilities more often, multiplying the frustration of being slowed by Withering Blade and Winter's Shroud. We hope that the changes we've made to being slowed, paired with the adjustments to the Revenant's abilities, make this experience better. Withering Blade, reduce slow duration versus players from 2.5 to 1.5 seconds. Reduce Whisper of Durance slowdown extension versus players from 2 seconds to 0.5. Reduced damage versus players from 65 to 45 after one bounce reduced further to 30. Reduced projectile speed by 10%, and they reduce tracking after bouncing off of a wall.
Pretty big
I'm
changes
happy
there
about
for
that.
Withering Blade. Yeah.
I want to feel the initial impact though, you know,
Mm-hmm.
because I feel like the initial impact is the most broken compared to the tracking that follows. I want
Right.
to see how much they tuned it down, because I don't know. I don't understand what they mean by initial impact. Because you throw Withering Blade and it can bounce off 4 walls and it can still hit you, and that
Yeah.
that hit is the initial impact. And if they didn't work on that, then it's kind of pointless. That
Yeah.
is kind of pointless. I gotta. There's a lot of questions I have,
Yeah.
even about the cryoclasm. No, they removed the cooldown timer, the actual cooldown timer. And they added 1.25 second sprint speed, which I think is easier to spam and sub spam. And
Yeah.
I
can
just
see
have a
that.
lot of like,
Yeah.
there's a lot.
It's
I want it to be great. We'll see.
And that's how it plays out.
It's definitely hey, everybody hop in a Crucible on Thursday. See how this
Yeah,
is.
the Crucible's gonna be lit on Thursday.
Oh yeah,
Everybody's gonna play.
I'm
On
going to play
Friday
on
though, let's
Thursday.
see if they come back.
You're right. Round reset Friday is when the real test begins. Does this work or not?
Winter Shroud gets a reduced slow duration versus players from 2.5 to 1.5, and they reduced Whisper of Durance slowdown extension versus players from 2 seconds to 5 seconds. Touch of Winter, the Cold Snap Seeker no longer has increased movement speed or travel distance, and it no longer spawns a small stasis crystal on detonation.
No, it now spawns a small
Or
stasis
now.
crystal.
Oh my god. T's and W's, man.
Yeah, no, it now spawns a small
Now spawns.
stasis crystal on detonation. Yeah. Anybody a hunter main? Thoughts on that?
I haven't been able to play.
I know I play, but I don't know. I think they simply added it because other classes have the ability to get to places that hunters can't get to.
Mm-hmm.
I think it
Right.
was added for PvE purposes and not PvP purposes because nobody's gonna. I mean, barely, if at all, somebody's gonna
Zombies
throw them
and a
on.
glacial nade, and we got you covered.
I mean, yeah, yeah. I don't know. Utility, adding a little bit of extra utility to
Yeah.
a already existing nade is kind of like a cool thing. You don't have to switch.
Yeah.
Just for you can have like something to stand on by throwing it
Right.
onto the wall,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's like a cool thing. That's about it. Like there's
Yeah.
I don't see it useful. But I don't know. I'm not as creative as most Destiny, but Destiny people are creative, bro.
Yeah.
I don't
They
know.
are.
Their brains are
You hand them
They're extra
like-
wrinkly.
Yeah.
yeah.
You hand them
And
two
they're hella
toothpicks.
wrinkly.
You hand them 2 toothpicks. They end up giving you like a mock-up of the Mona Lisa. It's all crazy.
Yeah. Like for real, bro. You say that as a joke, they actually would do it too.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Going into the final class of the changes, Warlock Shadebinder. The Shadebinder's Crucible performance is generally within the top 10 of all subclass trees.
Pause.
Okay.
How many subclass trees do we have? Is being in the top 10 really something special?
I mean, we have 12.
No,
How
we
many
have- we have-
viable?
no.
How many viable subclasses?
Bro,
You have
no, we
Top
have
Tree
15.
Dawnblade, Chaos Reach,
Uh-huh.
and Stasis.
Mm-hmm. But it's within the top 10 of all subclass trees. Like that's some kind of accolade here.
Oh no, it's 15. It's 15 per class. So you have 45. You have 45 classes, right? 45 subclasses. And
We have
some
that
people
many?
still-
Wait.
yeah, we do. Subclasses.
45?
You have 3 for Arc, 3 for Void.
Look, I
Uh,
failed.
Yeah, he's talking
three-
about like each individual
Okay.
like
each
tree.
Gotcha.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, I get you.
I failed math. So continue.
Nah,
Sorry.
Like so basically some people still rock the bottom tree Arc Spreader,
Mhm.
because it's OG. It's crazy with it for actual like movement and engagements and stuff. Then you have the
Yeah.
bottom tree arc on the Titan. It goes hard, like it's slumped on, crazy. And then you have the Thunder Crash. People love that thing. Now it's even getting more prevalent. And then you have top tree Dawnblade, like you said. You have middle tree Hunters, which should be surprised. A lot of top tier players use it because it gives you walls. And there's a lot of classes like bottom tree Solar on the Titan. It goes crazy. Benji, throwing knives. There's a throwing knives build that people use. So there's a lot of variants, when it comes to the public Crucible scene.
Right.
When you step away from the public Crucible scene and like go a little bit into quote unquote competitive survival or trials or whatever, that's when the power creep starts setting in. That's
Mhm.
when you
Mhm.
start seeing like
Yeah.
very few classes in play. Like Chaos Reach is gonna be dominant. because people would rather run around with their shiny shoes instead of engaging in a gunfight.
Yes, they would.
Yeah, and and then there's obviously stasis subclasses. I think that's from that perspective, the public Crucible perspective. No, I think that's where they're bringing their data in from.
Mm-hmm.
Fair enough.
And
I would
then
like to know, comparatively with other Warlock subclass trees, where Shadebinder lies.
You know it's nowhere near top tree Dawnblade. It's nowhere near.
It's probably 7 overall. It's 7th overall.
Yeah, because they said it's within the top 10.
It's not 10. It's not number 1.
Definitely
it
not
has
number
to
one.
be it has to be 7, 8, or 9.
So, yeah, it's like
Yeah.
it's somewhere in there. It's in the back
Yeah.
half.
I just thought that was like the most charitable way they could like try to say something nice about Shadebinder. That was
Or
the
Warlocks.
participation of statements Bungie could have made here. Like, yeah, we're talking about Titan Behemoth. It's the number 1 right now. Revenant is doing pretty good. Definitely 5. Shadebinder is within the
Performing.
top 10. It's performing. It exists.
It's,
Meanwhile, Chaos reaches and
competitive.
Dawnblade's just going wild in the background.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
bruh.
let's see.
Go on, Dan.
Continuing on, in Trials of Osiris matches, it has the 9th highest win rate of all subclass trees. By the way, I'm pulling all this data from the weekend of 5/14/21, but it generally doesn't deviate much between weekends. Vault of Glass launch weekend shook things up a bit, though. While the Shadebinder may not be the most powerful and competitive play, being frozen by its abilities take a large emotional toll on the victim. We've adjusted Penumbral Blast to require more accuracy versus players in order to turn this ability into more of a skill shot, given its powerful effects. Penumbral Blast. Reduce the tracking and proximity detonation size and tracking versus players. They reduce the freeze radius versus players when impacting the environment from 2.7 meters to 1.5.
Which I think it's pretty great.
Yeah.
Because it's very generous. As someone who actively uses Penumbra Blast, I got claws on. I think that change like will make it feel good using the ability and not it just being like, oh, I see someone like on the radar and I can just like shoot it out and like in like front of the door and get him while
Right.
he hasn't even turned the corner.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I'm for that particular change for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Allan?
Ice Flare Bolts. The Seeker now only chains once when spawned from a player shatter. I almost said that way differently. Winter's Wrath. The freezing projectile tracking strength now ramps down to 0 after 2 seconds of flight.
See, that one I'm not too super crazy about.
No more cross map tracking.
Well, here's the thing
Winter's
though. Like Winter's Wrath is a very slow super.
Yes.
Even if I were to get you like across the map, you have a real good chance of kind of like surviving because the shockwave might not reach like super far. Because I mean, it is generous, but for a super that leaves you pretty open, especially how the camera in the super is set up, since it hovers over your right shoulder, and it leaves you very vulnerable from your left-hand side. I feel like I don't know. I think that one's probably going to be the one that makes the super field just a little bit like not as great to use. Because even if you like, for example, if you use the super vertically, right? That alone leaves you super open because you have no way of either getting back down quickly or moving horizontally in midair.
Yeah. You're stuck in the air.
Exactly, you're stuck in the air, and like I said, it's very slow. The damage resistance isn't super high either. So already limiting down the tracking after the bolt is flying for 2 seconds doesn't leave a great taste in my mouth, but I'm gonna have to wait and see how it actually plays out in the game.
Right.
But if we're gonna talk about like, completely classes, subclasses that have supers that are pretty bad, but still have the damage resistance of like I don't know. It has the lowest damage resistance. Every hunter super, I don't know why they get nerfed like this. They're all bad. Like all their supers can be one shotted with a sniper.
Right.
Like your body they're still gonna die if you have like any kind of buff going on. It's not the same with other supers. They kind of other supers can tank a lot. Like Titans can, most of their supers can tank. Warlocks, most of their supers can tank. I think
Well, I
the
think
only yeah, just go on.
I was just because I think for hunters is particularly if you look at like Golden Gun, like I don't think
Yeah,
that has any DR.
yeah,
Not anymore. Yeah, it's actually I don't know if it ever did. I think it just has normal damage
it-
resistance from.
yeah.
Yeah, but that's a super that like is very generous. I mean, you can kill someone across the map if you're using like bottom tree, for example, and you can get bullets refunded
With
with the top
ludicrous
tree.
aim assist,
Yeah,
by the
yeah.
way.
Yeah. So I think trading off tanking a little bit versus being able to kill someone that's like across the map is a little bit on the
Yeah,
like
harder
fairer
to
side of
manage.
things.
Yeah.
It is hard to manage because you have to make sure that you're not peeking when like, there's a sniper like
Yeah, you
looking at
get
you.
shredded.
Yeah.
I mean, that's something that people in D1 used to do a lot because FOV, it did
Yeah,
not love you
Hmm.
to do anything other than, pop it and jump like an idiot and get sniped.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
there's definitely an odd balance to make there because the other problem with Shadebinder is that it is a two-part super. It
Yes.
goes the initial light attack, which doesn't deal much damage at all, and then the shatter, which is slower than the basic kill setup for both of the other stasis supers we've got. I mean, Titan Behemoths just laugh as they walk into people when they die. And Hunters, they throw this really slow tornado that it's easy to get away from, but the Hunter themselves they're not that vulnerable when they throw that out there. It's just the big normal animation. You can do it from behind a wall and then walk away. When you're in your Shadebinder, you're chasing people down, very vulnerable. Like Nim said, if you jump into the air, you're basically advertising yourself as an easy kill. And the way for
Yeah.
you to get kills in that suit is to hit a hope
Yeah.
that you hit somebody and freeze them, and then get close enough to detonate on them. So
It's gonna be interesting to see how this new changes handle with warlocks because warlocks don't shatter very well, if at all, with
Right.
their neutral kit. So now that they're bringing down the damage from like specials and stuff like that from 50 to 5, it's gonna be weird trying to shatter like stuff from a little bit further away because we can't really.
Like, what are you gonna do when you catch somebody frozen? How are you gonna shatter 'em? Like a
Yeah.
dog chasing a car? You catch it, and it's like, what do I do?
Yeah. But I don't know.
Gonna be interesting.
We'll have to wait and see. Yeah, for
Well,
sure.
you know what? I'll tell you what you do to shatter things, Nem. You start playing Dawnblade like a normal human being.
Nope.
I was gonna
Never.
ask.
You
And I don't know why they did that. I don't know why they gave top 3 Downblade the Twilight Garrison's movement. That shouldn't
I
have been
don't
a
know.
thing at all. I don't know why they did it.
Look, I'm fine with it being on Top Tree Dawnblade, but give Twilight
not.
Garrison back to Titans.
Yes, thank you.
Give them their exotic back.
Yeah,
Why
like
is that
would
not
you
in the
take it
game?
away from us? Like, see, the hunters have the verticality, right?
Right.
Now, warlocks are superior in the vertical game because of top 3 Downblade, right?
Absolutely.
And then as a Titan, all I can do is run into a wall.
You can just run into a wall.
You should be able to
Bruh.
run through walls.
Yeah,
I think-
like give me my garrison back so I can break necks and ankles again. Like that,
Yeah.
it was so much fun. Like they took away
I
all
think
the fun
it's-
things from the Titan and gave us all broken things. Like go and
I
slap
think it's
somebody and
because-
chain 4 people.
Yeah, but I think that they made that change because they were trying to lean more onto the fantasy aspects of each of those classes. So that's why, like for example, hunters also they got blink taken away from them
Mm-hmm.
because they're more of a roguish class, stealthy and stuff like that. Versus warlocks, for example, a typical like sorcerer can fly and can like teleport through time. And Titans, they're big, bulky, hold the W key and
Yeah.
grab a bottle,
Way of
hunker
life,
down, and
bro.
pray for daylight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's probably why, but
I mean, I get
feel
it.
you.
I get it. But they gave us Stasis.
Mm-hmm.
Garrison is not gonna hurt nobody. It's
Yeah.
okay. Give
So
it to us.
I have a question that's probably targeted more toward Nem than anybody else here. Will this super be better than Nova Warp? That's all I need to know.
No.
Okay.
No. Nova Warp has such mobility
Mm-hmm.
that you can use with it, even if you're not using Astrocyte Verse. But Astrocyte Verse is kind of almost a necessity for that
Mhm.
particular super to really, really
Right.
shine. But Nova Warp just has the mobility over almost any. I mean, and I felt that big time because I've been playing Nova Warp since like Forsaken.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've been a
And
Nova
when I
Warping boy. I've seen that.
Yeah. So switching from a super that like I was able to cross huge gaps, get the kills that I needed, and make my way back to where I came from was great. But now switching from that to Stasis, dude, I felt like it's like I was just like tied down. I'm like, oh, this sucks, dude. Like honestly, as a Shadebinder man, like I love the neutral game of Shadebinder, but the super is by far like my least favorite part of it.
Yeah.
Right. Same.
Yeah.
Pretty much the same. It's to the point where I don't even pop super when I'm using Shadebinder in PvE. I mostly just forget to do it because
Yeah.
it's more of a hassle than it's worth.
For sure.
It's a hassle.
Like, yeah.
No, I get it because it's so slow when you pop it, and
Mm-hmm.
that's annoying. Anything that makes you feel slow in this game, without you consciously acknowledging it, it
Mhm.
annoys the hell out of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just annoys you.
Well, we got the Go
Yep.
Fast update for a reason.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Right. Yeah. That was an act of Bungie kind of acknowledging the fact that even if it wasn't their intention, players play this game fast. Like
Mhm.
we've turned
Yeah.
this into a movement-based game. And I was super
Yeah.
happy. I remember that was years ago.
Yeah.
Back
All
when
right, we're just
Hamrick
gonna-
was still with us.
Yup.
Yeah. Hamrick was here and he's like, all right, just fine. You wanna jump on the monkey ball, swing across the sky, go for it. That's fine.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
when you run into stuff that interferes with that, it's like what Nim was saying earlier. The stasis slow is almost more annoying than being frozen. You can at least accept, oh, I'm just gonna die because here comes Dad Boy with his astral horizon. You can accept
Right.
that. Getting slowed is just so annoying. 'Cause it's like, all right, I'm trying to get out. I can't move, and yeah, there's
Yeah.
anything that impedes movement doesn't feel good in this game.
Right.
Absolutely.
Before we move on to audience questions, I did want to address the other big thing that happened in the Destiny universe this week, and that is the crossplay playlist
Right.
for
yeah.
strikes. Did anybody here play that? Did you guys get the emblem? How did you feel about it overall?
Man, I didn't play it, but I got the exclusive, you know, experience for the crossplay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. You did.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Okay, yeah. Go if you want to go on about that, Allan.
Way more
please.
interesting.
Yeah.
Let's hear about that.
Yeah. So basically, we were. So the new update came through, and we were playing, and I got on PC, and my friends were they were playing on console.
Mm-hmm.
Because it took everyone such a long time to get in and play and whatnot. So we were just like grouping up randomly, other than you have people that
Yeah.
you usually run with, and then you have people that you have no choice, but you love them anyway, so you run with them. And Amanda is my friend, and his buddies. We were chilling and playing and stuff, and then Amanda was like, yo, Allan, I can see you. I'm on console. Are you on console too? Like, no, I'm not. I'm on PC. bro, you sure don't play with me? Nah, I'm on PC. And I told her try joining me, and she did. It worked, and I tweeted it.
Yeah.
I tweeted it out. That blew up so fast, bro.
That was
Yeah.
wild, dude.
I had people, some people message me, immediately saying that it was a shadow release for the devs that was supposed to be tested or whatever. But don't know how you got it, but you got it. It was
That's insane.
crazy. It was
Yeah,
crazy,
that brought some serious hype that week
Mm-hmm.
bruh.
Right.
because there's
That
so
was
many people
crazy.
trying to replicate it and trying to do it.
Hey, bruh, like I told y'all that day, me and servers, bruh, there's something there, bruh. This is something, bruh. Whenever something server related happens, I'm there.
You're there.
I'm there. It was
Yeah, it
fun.
was-
It was fun. I loved it. I loved it. Just the thought process of like we all started from some console, right?
Yeah.
Destiny game, right?
Yes.
We have so many friends there that we would love to play with, but sometimes we just don't want to hassle it out on the console. We just don't want to,
Absolutely.
right? And you might love them, but you don't love them enough to, hassle yourself with a console. You know, it's yeah,
I value my eyes
this
a
is
little
nice.
bit.
Yeah, like it feels good. It feels good that I can know that the possibility of me being able to pick up all my friends from PlayStation or Xbox and just do whatever,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then it's just gonna be great when I just jump above them like that and they take a while to turn up. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. I'm just gonna have the time of my life.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of crossplay and the beta playlist, TBL, that grenade clip
Yes.
from the elevator,
Yes.
that was crossplay.
Yeah, you see, you're the one Bungie was talking about when they said Shadebinders cause emotional turmoil to other
Yep.
players. You ruined some console kid's day. No, I mean, the entire notion of crossplay with this is going to be such an incredible thing for all of the communities that are tied to Destiny 2. Removing that final barrier, I think, is going to do so much goodwill for the player populations. It's incredible. I did get a chance to play through the crossplay playlist this week. I went through my 3 strikes. I got my emblem and all of that. I was first struck by how quickly matchmaking went. How quickly
Mhm.
matchmaking went. I thought,
Mhm.
okay, it's going to try to put me in with like crew or whatnot. It'll probably take about 5 minutes. It was seconds. It linked
Yeah.
me up with a full fire team in seconds. We ran our strikes. I backed out because I wanted to get some new people. Again, seconds to hook me up and get me into a matchmaking queue, which fantastic. If there's one thing that can break the spaghetti code of Destiny, I figured it was going to be cross-play between consoles. Bungie seems to really know what they're doing here. And at least this beta playlist, it was super duper smooth. I'm really excited to see them push this.
It was,
I know
yeah.
it's scheduled for next season.
Mhm.
Cannot wait. It's going to be good.
That's what I've been hearing from a lot of people that they didn't even realize that they were
Yeah.
playing with people from other platforms.
Yeah.
If it's that smooth and they're able to translate that to other modes,
Yeah.
PvE, PvP, whatever,
Raids, baby.
it's gonna be phenomenal. Nobody is gonna play alone again. If
Yeah.
unless they want to play alone, I don't think
Yeah.
they'll ever play alone. It's gonna be beautiful.
The only
It's yeah.
the only thing that I heard came from Reddit where it was like people on PS5s when they would go to investigate a player or like go to inspect them would get beagle errors
Yes. Yeah.
and it would force them to restart their PlayStation like hardwire in order to get it back up and running. So that's not great, but the reason why these tests are made.
Yeah.
Do you guys think that maybe in the next couple weeks, somewhere in the 12 they'll be like, oh hey, by the way, we're gonna do this same thing with Crucible?
Possibly.
Yeah.
We do know that the way they're going to be setting up play is they're going to keep things separate unless you join a crossplay like party. So like if you're playing, Nim just answered this in chat, and I'm glad he did. If you're playing, say, if you're solo queuing in Crucible PS, you're not going to get put in a PC lobby. The only way you'll generally get put in a PC lobby is if you party up with a PC lobby from your PS4. Then it's going to match make you with other people on PC, and you can prepare to have that booty clapped. Other than that, I think
Yeah.
it's going to be fine. And so I
I
could
don't
see them
think.
doing a beta playlist. I don't know if they will.
No, I don't think they will. Purely because what is it? Cheaters. I think that's why they won't do it.
Ooh,
I
yeah.
think that's what they won't do it, because if they're able to catch the code of where the matchmaking happens and how they love, you know, uh, exactly, they find the source of where the matchmaking happens and how they can manipulate it to fit into their code so it can be used on consoles as
Yeah.
well.
Right.
I don't think they'll announce it. I don't think it's in their best interest or the community's best interest to do it. And we know anti-cheat is coming. We've heard about it,
Yeah.
but we've been hearing about it for a while.
Yeah.
A long while.
And bruh, all they have to do is the sandbox is in a great place.
Mm-hmm.
Stasis neutered, right? Anti-cheat
Yep.
in place, the game will sustain itself,
Yeah.
and they can focus on making new content. Right now, they're just patching things that's broken. You know, they're putting so much effort and energy into patching things that's broken, and I feel like since they're not functioning in a highly productive environment, you know, from your house you can't be as productive as you can be when you're at the studio, no?
Right.
And
Yeah.
I think it's hurting all of them, because you can tell they're very tight knit when it comes to like working and stuff, and not
Oh,
being in
absolutely.
close contact and not being able to like immediately get things done and stuff like it's probably hurting them too. And I I, I just want this them to like neuter Stasis, not because um it not because like I'm against Stasis. I get that some people actually play Stasis because they love it, they enjoy it.
Right.
But it has to be neutered in PvP. They have to install the anti cheat. It has to be a third party that 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 does the anti cheat for them,
Yeah.
and that will self sustain the game for a while too. And then they can focus on pushing or bringing in more content or whatever. They can be transparent about all this. I don't think anybody will be upset if they say, if we focus on this for a while, you'll have to give us a couple seasons
Right.
to give you all, uh, these other things. If they're that transparent, I don't think anybody will be against it. I don't think so, right? But then
Yeah.
again,
No. Yeah.
all our opinions about these things are formed on the small group of a social space that we. It's very
Yeah.
small.
Oh yeah.
It's very small, and the numbers that play the
Absolutely.
game is ginormous.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We, all our opinions and all that we think is based off of this space alone.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
space alone, and they're functioning from a space where they know this space, you know, and that is people let it slide. People don't give it a lot of thought. You have to give it a lot of thought.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Absolutely.
why when that's why I like NEM'S videos, the Stasis videos. It keeps my perspective in check. Because every time I'm playing against a Stasis, right? Obviously, when you're competitive, ego checks in. Like it comes in without your knowledge. Like it happens. It's like,
Yeah.
what are you doing? Like this and that. I mean, obviously, I wouldn't act on it, but you can tell when it kicks in, right? And then when you're browsing all this and you see his clips, and it's a reminder. There's actually people who play a certain subclass or class because they have fun with it. They
Exactly.
genuinely have fun with it, and he's a representative of a subset of the community that is not in our vicinity. You know,
Mm-hmm.
like it's not in our space. Like he's representing a space that's outside the space, a bigger space,
Right.
like the majority,
In
and,
outer
and
space.
in outer
Ideally.
space. Yeah. It keeps you in
Yeah.
check. It keeps you in perspective, and it helps. It helps
Yeah.
seeing all this. It
does,
helps.
yeah.
It keeps you grounded.
You got to realize not everybody plays the game like you.
Yes,
Not everybody's
everybody
playing
has
it
their
for
story.
content.
yes, exactly,
Yeah. Yeah.
exactly.
That's important to keep
And
in mind.
yeah, and you can't help it too, bro. PvP players we're driven like that. No,
Yeah.
they're so competitive at this.
Yeah.
They can't see when they're being vocally abusive. When I
Mhm.
say abusive, I mean it an, not in its fullest. I don't mean the word in its fullest extent, but a lack of a
Mhm.
better word, I'm using that.
Yeah.
Uh, they're so vocally abusive without realizing it. They'd be like, "Yo, you're a dog shit player or whatever." They say it and they move on.
Mhm.
That's their
Yeah.
competitive
Yeah.
side, right? And they forget about it. They move on to the next game or whatever. And the player on the receiving end could be your biggest fan.
Mhm.
Right.
They might love you, right? They might be your best friend. You don't know whatever something. You don't even know them, whatever, or
Yeah.
they don't know you, but you've you've let that ego overtake you, and obviously you're gonna say, "Oh, it's not my ego. It's just that the heat of the moment." No, that's bullshit.
Yeah.
Chill. So look, you just acted on your ego. Like it's cool. It's cool. It
Yeah.
happens. Like learn not to be, vocally abusive about it. Just relax.
Right.
It's just a game. Like relax.
Stay grounded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I do it too. Like when I'm playing with my friends, I'm mad vocally abusive. Bro. Like, fuck you. No. But those are your boys. Those are your girls.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
they return it in full effect, like with interest. It's not the same with people you don't know because you don't know what's going on, and just be a little more compassionate. Don't be a dickhead.
Yeah.
Don't be an asshole. It's
Yeah.
easy.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Well,
I'm sorry. I just went on
no.
a tangent.
No,
No,
it's
That's
good.
why we had
that's
you.
excellent.
That's why we're here.
Podcasts exist because people like talking and people like hearing other people talk. And so this is a perfect example of why we had you on the show. So
Thank you.
thank you,
Absolutely.
Alan.
Yeah.
With that being said, shall we get into a couple of questions before we wrap the show up?
Yeah.
Let's
yeah.
do it.
All right. So, Gray Fox 2K30, the king of questions,
King of questions.
with the hire of a Capcom Resident Evil alum, what industry person would you want brought into the Destiny universe?
That's a loaded question right there.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell?
That is a fusion rifle if I've ever seen one.
Mm-hmm.
It was.
Mm-hmm.
That's a really interesting question. I get what you're going for, Gray Fox. There. Since sometimes, I think it's very rarely, you have a single individual in the game sphere who could influence the entire direction of a project or franchise. I don't know if bringing on a single dev from the Resident Evil franchise is going to suddenly make the horror elements of Destiny any better. It's
Mhm.
probably there to work on the third person action segments and whatnot. I mean, the only way I could see bringing on any sort of dev or industry personnel to massively change the way things are is like if Bungie hired Kojima. And I don't know if I would.
Oh
no.
my God. I'll
Oh,
lose
no,
my
no.
mind. I will lose my mind. Like I'm not even. Like, I'll
Then you're
lose
gonna
my
have
mind.
like flying whales and the EDZ.
Oh my-
That's I
What does
love
it
the man,
mean?
but
Nothing. There's no payoff. Don't worry about it.
yeah.
So I can't think of like any particular like industry name that I would bring on that would
Yeah.
really
I would-
change the way things work.
like if I were to pick someone like let's hyper focus a dev for a singular purpose, like narrative, for example, or like campaign wise.
Right.
I do like what Stig Osmundson has done in the past before, and like
Okay.
he can definitely make like man, God of War 3 was excellent, and
It was
he's the one
fantastic.
who directed that. So like he knows, like he can bring like these crazy vistas and stuff like that. And Destiny is a beautiful game. So I
Yeah.
think like he could, he could do like some gnarly shit.
Well, guys, I just used one out of 4 Forbes articles to find this out.
We
So
appreciate the sacrifice.
thank you so much. Next time you do it, Nem.
Oh,
Paul
you got it.
Tassi wrote this on May 30th or today. Peter Fabiano, who has been at Capcom for 13 years
Oh,
and most
yeah,
recently has been a producer director for Resident Evil 7 and Village.
Great games.
You could recognize him as Peter Walken in Resident Evil 7. Fabiano announced that he was leaving Capcom and heading to Bungie yesterday, and his tweets imply that he may be heading straight to Destiny 2 rather than on Destiny's or Bungie's incubation projects.
Ooh.
Bring me my 9-foot tall mommies.
Oh,
in
that man
Destiny.
looks
mean,
nice too.
Keitel.
Oof.
yes. Bring me my Keitel in a sundress. Let's do it. Bring it on.
Oh,
Hand it over.
Sean.
Put it in my hand.
Let's go!
Put it in my hand.
Bro, this man started. He tweeted out yesterday. Eyes up, Guardians. Let's go.
Yeah.
All right. I dig it.
So, I mean, he's got a good pedigree behind him.
I mean, just came off of both Resident Evil 7, which was a slam dunk,
Yeah.
and Resident Evil 8, which has proven to be a massive. Not a bad acquisition.
Yeah. So, I mean, that deal had to have been tempting. Holy cow.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like, to go directly from one studio to the next. Ooh. All right.
And going from a studio that's coming off of 2 major successes over to another
Oh.
studio that is coming off of major successes. Destiny is the market leader when it comes to. It is.
Mhm.
It is, I think, surpassed Diablo. We're still waiting on the next Diablo game to drop. Cannot wait, by the way. It's surpassed its inspiration in Borderlands. We've had other games pop up like Outriders, Division, all of which are good, but it's clear Destiny is the leader of the pack right now. So he's going from one major development house over to another major development. That's what we call a big time trade.
It's a good pickup.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, Bungie has been in that position for the last, I don't know, 7 years. Like from the jump, they did it right. When I say they did it right, I'm not talking about the game specifically. It's their vision. It's they just hit that mark which nobody was expecting them to hit,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and then just stayed there.
It's
Literally
still
just
good.
stayed there. Yeah,
Yeah.
they just stayed there. We have our qualms about it. We can argue all day, but there is no other game. It is just a genre by itself.
Yeah.
Literally.
It is.
Yeah.
It
Absolutely.
is the standard bearer.
Yeah, it's you can't even argue about that, man. Like there's nothing, there's no other game you can compare it to. Please don't tell me Warframe. Please don't tell me Warframe. It's not.
Yeah, the people that compare Destiny to Warframe have not played Warframe.
I've been
No.
played.
Yes.
I've played
I know.
Warframe. Never.
It's not.
Will never
They're
compare.
not the same game.
No,
Yep.
they're 2 entirely different games.
I loved Warframe. So I was introduced to Warframe by EK, no? When he started
Mhm.
playing Warframe. I loved the game, the way it felt, the way it moved. It did not feel like Destiny at all because people put these ideas in my head like,
Yeah.
oh, this is Destiny. It's not.
Yeah.
It,
No.
it feels like completely different games. We look at the frames and we look at the Guardians and we make the comparison. And that's not how it works. That's not how it works.
Yeah.
It's not.
Not the same
It's
at
not.
all.
Not at all.
Yeah.
Not in the slightest.
Yes.
Also, if people, I'm just gonna put it out there, but if people think Destiny is grindy, Man,
Dear God.
never pick up Warframe because
Good
good
lord.
luck.
Dear God.
Oh yeah.
Ugh. Anyways, that's all I
Next
have
question?
to say about that. Final
Dear
question.
God.
Trace is 78. If there were a long-term commitment to providing new PvP maps, would the short-term be reinserting Destiny 1 maps, i.e. Asylum, and modes like Rift, which I think we cherished? Would this pacify the PvP heads to a certain degree?
No, it wouldn't.
No.
It wouldn't at all.
Not without
Because
the base.
we've been waiting for 600 days, so that wouldn't cut it
It's been a
anymore.
long time. I mean, I think anything is a step in the right direction. Getting some maps back now is nice, but it wouldn't. If you think that would satiate
even
the
close.
loud crowds on Twitter right now, absolutely not. Bungie, you know, when they talked about that focus on PvP, in eternity ago,
Yep.
haven't seen it. We just
Yeah,
haven't seen it.
Bungie is smart. Their PR team, you have no idea. They suppress stuff without suppressing stuff. They're clever. Stasis things happen. No, the whole, the movement happened
Mm-hmm.
and it blew up and people were venting about it. What Bungie did was they let everybody have their moment, right?
Yeah.
Because
Mm-hmm.
that was their way of showing, letting us know we're hearing you. Let your frustrations out. And DMG and Cosmo, they tweet out, we're listening. We're taking notes. We're taking notes. If you notice, that's not the first time they've been doing it too. For the last 3 months, they've constantly been reminding people, right? And
Yeah.
and then three weeks, exactly 3 weeks later, all right, we got something for you. And they didn't give us like DMZ, Dylan didn't like give us like expectations for 12 this week.
Yeah.
He does all that. He didn't do any of that. He didn't do any of that. And they released the 12.
Mm-hmm.
Guess what happened?
All stasis
All the
changes.
stasis this things. They were like,
And so
Westbrook,
I would say,
they Westbrooked us like real quick.
yeah, it was like, hush, little baby, we got
You my
you.
baby.
We got you. And that's
You my
what I think.
baby.
That's what I think would do more good than anything else. The stasis changes, and then addressing anti-cheat. I
Yeah.
think handle that before you start dumping revamped D1 Crucible maps on us. I think those are those are probably the bigger concern.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there's all the questions fit to print.
All the questions fit to print. Well, all right, everybody. I think that does mean that brings us to the end of episode 280 Planet Destiny podcast. This one's been a lot of fun. Very special thanks. One and the only King Allan. Thank you so much for joining us tonight, man.
It's a pleasure, brother. I love chatting it up. Like I'm just a chatty person, bro. If anybody is willing to talk to me anywhere, I'm down.
Heck yeah.
Like, I just
Yeah.
love it.
And it was great to have you on. You had a great perspective on a lot of this. I think hearing your PvP perspective was particularly interesting this week, considering all the stasis changes that we know are coming on Thursday. So, while on the one hand we had the saddest winter wraith in the room, we got to hear on the other hand why stasis needs to be buried.
It was
So it was
kismet.
fantastic to have you here.
It was fate to have you on this episode.
Oh,
Perfectly
it was fate.
balanced.
Okay.
Bungie was
Okay.
like, who's going to be the guest this week? Oh, King Allan? All right. We got something
Stop
for
the
him.
stasis. That's those stasis update we got for next season. Move it to now.
Move it up. Move it up.
Move it up. Move it up.
Kevin, do it now.
Hey, but I think NEM'S gonna have the last laugh though. I don't know
Oh, yeah?
if y'all know. Waiting for that video on Thursday. He's gonna
Oh,
have the
yeah.
last laugh on all of you.
I don't know what you're talking about.
He already knows. He already knows. He's got an uncle at
I'll be
Bungie.
looking forward to it. But right on, man. Again, thanks so much for joining us tonight. It was a pleasure having you aboard. And absolutely, any other time you ever want to be on, you are welcome to come back, and we'd be happy to host you again.
Absolutely, my brother. I'll be down to do this again on different other topics.
Yeah,
I
right
love it.
on. Well, before we get on out of here, of course, we do like to give our guests the opportunity to let everybody know where they can be found. So this is the time to take the floor and shill all your stuff, man. Take it away.
All right, my main platform is Twitch. So I'm on Twitch, twitch.tv/xKingAllan. I don't know. I'm the only Indian creator that streams Destiny, bro. Like, I'm trying to get. There are certain people who are interested in coming to the scene. I'm trying to create that space for them
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
because in India, content creation, like, nobody respects that. Like, nobody does, right? It's not even
Really?
considered. No, nobody does. It's not even considered as a job. You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
um, and it's hard for people to come in and try this because fear. Because
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
because we're brought up in such a high functioning environment where, like, you have to be a doctor, engineer, or this and the usual.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Um, so I'm fighting and I'm building this space for creators from India so they can comfortably step in and explore their creative side and push out content. And I do it on twitch.tv/xKingAllan. I have a lot of IRL conversations that needs to be had in real life. I have a lot of those conversations on Twitter. You can find me there too. Every now and then I post some cool clips, or I just yell at y'all. It's fun. And I I don't know if that's my Discord link, but I have a Discord community as well. You can
Mm-hmm.
find me anywhere. You can message me at any time, anywhere. I will make time for you if you need somebody. I will absolutely make time for you. Thank you
Alan,
for having.
I got that link directly from you, dude. So that is it.
Oh, bro, I thought it was your Discord link. That's why I
Not
asked that.
I didn't. I only do that to Nim. I don't do that to
Only
anyone
to
Oh,
else.
them.
Yeah,
okay, okay.
Whenever
I'm
we
not
say we're
special.
putting them stuff out there, we just put
I
somebody
only do
else's
that to
links.
Nim.
Well, right on, man. That's great stuff. And I think as the representative for the entry for content creation, there couldn't be anybody better than you. Right on,
Oh,
brothers.
thank you. Means a lot.
Absolutely. And I find that notion there that content creation isn't looked at as like a real job really interesting, because that's the exact way it was about 8-9 years ago over here in the US as well. So I am 100% certain that you keep pushing, it is going to open up just as much as it has basically everywhere else here. And
Absolutely, brother.
I like I said,
Yeah,
I can't think of a better starting point than you, man. So keep it up.
do my best, brother. Thank you.
Right on. Again, thanks so much for joining us tonight. Um, Dan, what about you, man? Where you at?
Oh, hi.
Hey,
My
what's
name's
up?
Danfinity. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and the TikTok at Danfinity, where the eyes are L's. You can also find me 3 days a week, twitch.tv/Danfinity. I believe Tuesday we're going to do Reset Boys, where I basically turned my friendship with a couple of buddies into a competition. On Thursday, we'll be checking out some of the Stasis stuff and helping PC folks with Vault of Glass. So if you still need that, hit me up. And next Sunday will be PlayStation Helps, just all day.
Right on, right on. I'll be there for the PC helps because, good God, I need it.
Let's go!
Still haven't gotten eyes, by the way. I
We
just want to.
haven't linked up at all, damn. We got it. I think we did once, and
What are
I
you
was all over the place
What
that
are you
day.
doing this Thursday?
I don't know. We can do whatever,
Hell yeah!
whatever you want.
Let's hop in, dude.
Right
All
on.
right, bro.
Let's get at it.
Hold them to a
I'll
chat.
wait to talk over you every time we do a raid together.
All right, King. I'm writing it down. There we go. It's
On
in
the
book.
schedule.
It's in the book. It is literally booked.
Yeah. All right.
Right on, right on.
Okay.
What do
Nim, how
you
about you,
want?
man?
Hi. I actually have a couple of things wanted to mention before we go. First, you can find me over on twitter.com/NemPlays, as Dan has so generously put there in. So shut
It's
Dan,
my
love you,
link.
bud.
It's my link.
Well, there it goes. Um, one thing I do wanted to shout out is an artist by the name of Caleb Wilkie, and I will post his Twitter on the Twitch chat here if you guys want to give him a follow. So recently, once the whole the transmog scene, started, I made a new look for my Warlock, which is what TBL has been referencing, because that's kind of what the name of his print is the Winter Wraith. So I posted a screenshot of my Warlock, and it like blew up. I had Dylan retweeted and whatnot, and it caught his eye. And he was amazing enough to draw. I don't know if here RTX is being a butt. Let me get rid of it real quick.
It's just staying on par because you don't see the Winter Wraith until it's too late.
Oh my
Yeah.
god, that's beautiful.
So
That's awesome, dude.
he drew it, and you can buy this print on his shop. I don't think I don't have to put it there,
That's
but
awesome.
this is his Twitter. So yeah, you can buy this print. There you go. And it's fucking incredible. And he was like, "Hey, dude, like if you want a print, I can 100% send you one." So he sent this to me by his own, good grace, and it is fantastic.
That's
So
So
sweet,
give him a
bro.
follow there on Twitter. Yeah, no, it was amazing. The other thing is, so with Stasis getting nerfed this upcoming week, I decided it was now the proper time to release a little cheese Taj of Stasis. So if you are interested to see that, here's the link for that. It is pure, unadulterated Stasis filth. So if you want to be mad a little bit, there's a link in Twitch chat. But outside of that, you can just find me at the links that Dan posted above.
Right on. That's an awesome print, by the way.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
When are we getting one for your Pennywise look?
Oh my god. God, that was awful.
What, that one?
The best fashion show in history.
Best one.
Jesus. Fucking Pennywise, man.
We all float down.
Right
to
on.
Hey, you can love it or hate it. He's a classic. He'll be remembered forever.
Good stuff. Make sure you guys go follow. Of course, my name is the Black Link. Everywhere on the internet, Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, all at the link. I don't know if I've got anything too special this week. If we do live stream, it'll be, Monday through Friday, starting at around 11 a.m. Eastern time in the afternoon. Depends on when I have to go to work, the usual stuff. Any sort of Destiny news videos, YouTube channel at youtube.com/Planet Destiny. We're probably going to have the patch notes go up there a little bit before they go live. Bungie usually drops it about a half hour. Start pushing those updates out so you can go keep up to with all the news we've got over on the YouTube channel. And that's pretty much all we've got for you today, everybody. Thank you all so much for tuning in to episode Destiny Cast, your guide to this week in Destiny. It's great to have you all here, and we'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.